Trees blow over. It's a fact of life. Around here, a tree like this would generally go straight for firewood. But I'm going to try to get something a bit more useful from it. I'm going to try to make as many fence rails as possible for my attempt at copying a historic fence. Even these little limbs might have some value. Let's find out. These smaller limbs are splitting pretty fast and easy. They definitely won't be perfect, but take a look at this 1862 fence. See that knot and that one? Oh God, look how crooked that rail is. It's ridiculously bad, but I guess that's the price you pay for having free fencing materials. Farmers would often keep a stand of timber on their land and use whatever was available for fence rails. They'd use any species of wood. From the looks of it, they liked splitting smaller tree limbs too. And now we know why. It's easy work. Now think of the situation like this. Firewood was essential to most people in the 19th century. That might make one or two nice rails anyway. And a couple of really ugly ones. A lot of people today still use it. Splitting small limbs and trees into rails really isn't much harder than splitting firewood by hand. In some ways, it's even easier. Less sawing, you know. You get a few years out of a rail, but as soon as it starts to rot, you cut it up and you have some wonderful firewood, well seasoned. Basically, your fences are your long-term firewood supply. You burn rails as you replace them. Now, as we sit here and watch me work my guts out, I want to tell you that I've set up a Patreon. I'm not making it public because I don't feel like I've earned your support quite yet. Over there, you're going to find presentations just like this one with much more detail. I could go on and on for hours with the technical details of splitting fence rails, but the general YouTube audience doesn't want to see that, and I don't blame them. And the same applies to everything I cover on this channel. So if you're in the process of restoring a historic property, or just have an insane curiosity about this stuff, you may want to consider signing up in the future, but we'll see. Alright, well, I think we've all had enough of watching me swing a hammer. In a couple of hours, I have 14 rails ready to go. If I was going to continue with my snake rail fence, I'd be pretty much done at this point. But I'm doing a post and rail fence so the ends need to be dressed up a bit. I've never done this, so it's all experimental from this point. I want the ends to be parallel to each other, so I use the level to mark a line, and now I dress it up and try to match the old fences. The foot edge does a great job at this. Nice and smooth. The old rails look like they've got a chamfer, so I try to get that too. Wow, that's about 2 inches of material. I'm going to try something different. Not perfect, but with a bit of practice, I think I'll get there. If you've made it this far, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and stick around to see us put this fence together.